Well, welcome back to the Transformation Trek. I hope you're well, and I hope you've been enjoying this practice thus far. The hope or the invitation of the Transformation Trek is we're hoping that, of course, you can watch this yourself if you've stumbled across this. You can explore this if you're not connected to anyone that wants to discuss this, but the invitation and the hope is that you're gathering with a group right now, that you're watching these videos, that you're looking through our practice guide, which can be found at transformationtrek.online or in the description of this video, and that you're wrestling with this stuff. You're exploring the life-giving ways of Jesus together. How do you explore it? How do you not explore it? And what it does in you. What is the transformation bit that takes place? And so we love to hear from you too. If you're finding some of this super encouraging or you disagree with us, we just want to hear from you. We want to know that this is helping, or what people find is encouraging out of this stuff. So please reach out, comment if you're watching this video on somewhere where you can comment, or send us a message or an email, or contact us at the website previously mentioned. And so, as mentioned, we're exploring these practices, and the practice this season, we're actually in week 2, is the practice of rest. We've called this little season the hard work of rest. And kind of the playing on the fact that this modern day culture, the idea of resting, is actually going a little bit against the grain. It's a little countercultural. We celebrate not resting. We celebrate being busy. Can I give you an example? If I'm talking to someone this day and age, if I'm talking to someone and I ask them how they're going, this is often the response. It'll sound something like this: "Hey, how you going?" Yeah, okay. I'm pretty busy though. I'm flat out at the moment. Man, just under the pump. Or if you're like me, you apologize for it because you can't believe you're always saying it. I'll say something like, "I know I shouldn't say this. I'm just so busy at the moment." We wear this busyness like a badge. And whether we want to admit it or not, think what we're actually saying. We could actually replace those words with something like this. Oh, how are you? Yeah, I'm really important. I'm really needed by people. Yeah, I have people that rely on me, and I have purpose in my existence. Yeah, I produce heaps of things. You should celebrate me and like me because look at all the things I do. That's essentially the badge that we're maybe deliberately or don't even realize unconsciously saying when we say we're busy. In this modern day culture, you are defined by what you make, what you produce, what you create. You're optimizing everything. You're only as good as your latest content. And it's a little scary. It's understandable, but it's a little scary. Because and I know you've heard this before, but we're not just a human doing, we're a human being. And so if we're busy defining by what we do, how do we discover who we are? How do we rest in how God has created us? And that's kind of the theme of week 2. This idea of trying to slow down or even stop long enough to sit in who we are and who God has created us to be. Right through the Bible, we see that just by being His creation, we are loved. For sure, we stuff that up multiple times, all the time. We think it's about us, or we take away from that original identity that's given to us from God. But the good news is that Jesus reclaimed that. And actually, we're now defined by what He has done. And so if you check out the readings for this week, one out of Isaiah, it talks about that we can take refuge, that we can hide away, that we can rest in God. That means we can dare to slow down our lives. We don't have to be defined by what we're producing. We don't have to be a factory. We can rest in who God has made us to be. And then if we don't feel that's that good, we've got the good news, which is we can rest in who Jesus is and what He has done. He can have a heavy burden and we can have His light one. True and proper rest, slowing down long enough to realize we don't make the world spin. We may think it on a Monday morning, but when we stop we realize how little control we have. And that makes us point or consider the one who does. And now I'm not talking about being lazy. I'm talking about rest that actually makes us more productive. When we stop and realize, when we schedule, when we're disciplined, when we stop deliberately, when we withdraw and we realize God is the one at work in us and through us, we actually become more productive when we get back into it. And so my encouragement is around a couple of questions for you guys to discuss, and of course, the verse is given. And my question is, what would it look like in your life to slow down or even stop? What does that even look like? We're not setting the rules here at the Transformation Trek. We give you suggestions, but it's up to you, your community, and God on what this looks like to practice slowing and stopping down. Stopping down and slowing up. What does it look like for you to slow down or even stop? And what do you think you'd find hard about that? And what do you think it would do for your relationship with God and others? What do you think slowing down, even stopping, would do for your relationship with God and others? Hey, kick that round. I'd love to hear ways, creative ways. For me and my family, we've got a young family, so we try to make it Saturday. We really try to slow down and stop. Do we get it right all the time? Absolutely not. But is the heart there to say, hey, God, you're in control of my life, my family. I don't have to be always producing. That's the heart. And it is so good for us. It's so transformative when we're able to do it. What's it look like for you? Why don't you let us know? Why don't you kick that around? And I look forward to continuing what it looks like, the hard work, the countercultural idea of rest. See you then.